valor, my sword, and our victory together. Long may the sun shine.
Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 3 with myself, Hollow. You may notice that this is not Hollow, the original character we're doing the playthrough on. No, this is my second character that I've been playing in my own time, just casually, and then suddenly extremely a lot for like 4 hours in a row. I made a mistake, or rather Shadowplay made a mistake, while trying to record episode 10, this episode, on the original character. Shadowplay did not properly record it, and the footage was lost. Pretty lame. Has happened to me once or twice before in the history of my YouTube career. It's alright. I just had to suck it up, and I streamed and ran through the whole game, getting to where I am in the playthrough right now on this character, which is a sort of strength ice woman type of build. Now, last time we did identify the fact that we are cursed, and at level 5 of this dark sigil, we look really ugly and like beef jerky. It's disgusting. And we were told that, you know, all will become clear soon by Yor or whatever. And we also have the Firekeeper soul thing, which we can give to her. We were talking about it last time, like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And yeah, I guess basically what I should say is, this episode is not going to be blind. I did the whole of the area. I haven't fought the boss, and I got to a certain bridge, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But I went through the whole of the swamp in front of FARRON Keep, unlocked the door, and it's a shame that I lost all that, but the main issue was all of the NPC dialogue that we lost. So why I've gone through here, mainly, is not because of the items that you didn't get to see, but the fact that we missed lots of NPC dialogue. And I've actually progressed the whole story of every NPC, so we're at the exact same point, as if nothing has changed, and episode 10 was recorded perfectly normal, we're just on a different character. So, I decided that I would give the soul to the Firekeeper.
Ashen One, this is much like what lies within me. Then let it find its own place within my bosom. She will understand. We are both Firekeepers after all. Forgive me, sister. May the flames guide thy way.
And what that does is it basically allows her to heal this dark sigil and remove it from me. Removing this hollowing effect. Removing this beef jerky look, which is a very good thing.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
But if I do that, then the sacrifice made by a certain weird man in a certain corner of the Firelink Shrine would be in vain. And this story would end. And I decided, you know, let's wait a little bit, see what happens. And this poor soul has indeed died. The first time we met him, he was begging for death and saying, why haven't I died? I don't understand why I haven't died yet. He was just a late bloomer, I guess. And he perished. We don't really know what caused it, but what we do know is that this woman has shown up. Who are you?
Oh, prithee, art thou good Yol's master? I am Uriah of Londor, a close friend of his. Thanks to thee, Yol's soul is redeemed. Allow me to express my gratitude in his stead.
Dignified bow.
Another matter. Thou'rt a lord, art thou not? Bearer of the dark sigil, and our Lord of Hollows. For the time thou remainst our lord, we of Londor shall serve thee. And I, of course, am also thine.
So this is a really interesting bit of information. She's shown up as he's died and is telling us things, right? Could this be the true nature of the character who perished? Of Yol? I don't know. But she's saying that is. She's apparently his friend. And she also refers to us as the Lord of the Hollows, which is something that we were being referred to as before he died. He was calling us Lord. Well, we now know Lord of Hollows. And we're hollowing, right, because of the Dark Sigil. She says Londor, and there's a name of a long time ago in Dark Souls 1, and it was called New Londo. And New Londo was where the Dark Wraiths were sealed. Who are you exactly? She sells the Purging Stones, which will basically remove the undead curse and cure my hollowing. Seems a bit weird because she wants me to stay cursed, doesn't she? Not sure why she would sell that. We also have the Londor Braille Divine Tome. It's very cheap, which is a Braille Tome of Londor, first spoken by Lilane of the Sable Church. Give this to a storyteller to learn miracles of Londor. This is a forbidden tome, as it offers salvation to all hollows, and conversely curses all things living. And this gives us the indication that if we were to use the Fire Keeper's power to remove the Dark Sigil, but still use this tome and the magics hidden within it, would we suffer as well? Because then we would be living again, right? Technically. Whereas this is extremely powerful to one who is hollowed. One who doesn't have this curse of flesh, I guess. Super interestingly enough, she also sells the Dark Hand, which is something used only and uniquely by Dark Wraiths. Those enemies and monsters that came out of the abyss thanks to Karth, the Manipulator. They were sealed away so that they could not wreak havoc on the world at the cost of hundreds of thousands of lives, destroying a great city, all to ensnare and trap a certain few. Yet these few were deadly and risked the world and could have corrupted the entire world. These Dark Wraiths had to be sealed. And yet here we have this woman showing up out of nowhere, referring to me as her lord, like her leader, and offering me dark arts relevant to Dark Wraiths. The same techniques used by Dark Wraiths. And that's why I think maybe she is a Dark Wraith, and I think maybe she wants us to be the Lord of Dark Wraiths, which is really interesting, but a bit of a dark path to say the least. One of the illusionary rings worn by the Hollows of Londor, which allows me to retain human appearance while hollow, which is really interesting because, like I said, if I was to get rid of this curse and become humanoid again and all that, right, and not be a hollow, I wouldn't be able to use these magics in a tome, and just general, I wouldn't be able to use Dark Wraith powers without suffering. And it's a cost because I look ugly like beef jerky. I could wear this ring and remove that visual effect, but keep the benefit of these powers. Is what that seems to be anyway. The Hollows of Londor are wretchedly aged, fraught with deceit, and dubiously secretive. It is no wonder that they are deeply detested. We also have the Untrue White Ring, which allows you to look like a white summon, even if you're a red summon, even if you're a purple summon. It's a good way to trick people. It's pretty funny.
Oh, good Hollow. I'm afraid I must say, Orbeck of Vinheim is a cause of much consternation. He proclaimeth himself Lord of Hollows. If left alone, he may one day imperil thy rule. Fall to this matter yearly, else we are unravelled. Decisiveness is the mark of a true monarch.
And just like Karth, the man who, I say man, the serpent, primordial serpent, who manipulated the original four kings into destroying their civilization and becoming Dark Lords and ensuing the Abyss forward and, of course, creating the Dark Wraiths. He manipulated a lot of people. And this lady who's shown up, Yuria, is also instantly trying to tell me to get rid of the sorcerer that we saved last time and brought back from the world. I say saved, he was probably alright. Who's now here in the Fire Link Shrine. And, well, thing is, seems like an interesting character who definitely has his own secrets. But this character, with the Dark Sigil, obviously knows a lot about this and isn't revealing all of the information. It's keeping secrets from us, it's obvious. And she's already telling us to kill someone else. And she showed up suddenly, and that guy's dead now as well. So, she's really suspicious. And because of the lore that I know, that isn't quite revealed so far in Dark Souls 3, she might be a dark wraith. She's obviously got something to do with them. Orbeck, the sorcerer that we spoke to last time, has taken up residence just in this nice nook here, opposite the pyromancer. He's got all of these cute little books and scrolls, all of his learnings. How you doing, Orbeck? I'm going to go ahead and not tell you that I've been told to kill you.
Oh, you're back then. Again, I'm Orbeck of Vinheim, here to teach you sorceries. Let us begin with the basics. The ideal sorcerer bears the twin faces of the dragon. You could at least act as if you're paying attention.
What's interesting is he instantly tries to tell me who he is. It reminds me, I'm Orbeck, remember me, I'm here to teach sorceries. And then he starts trying to teach me and gives up so quickly. Kind of suspicious. You know, he really wants to instill the fact that, hey, remember, I'm Orbeck, I'm here to teach sorceries, that's why I'm here. And that lady over there told me that he's actually proclaiming he's the Lord of Hollows, and probably will try and fuck with me, and I need to deal with him. Who's telling the truth? I don't know. Anyway, he sells some pretty interesting stuff. For example, the Spook, which allows you to make no noise when you shoot spells and prevents fall damage. Very useful spell, very useful spell. But obviously, I am not a sorcerer on this character or the main character. What else you got to say, man?
It is folly to claim lives recklessly, friend. Do not be tempted. No matter the victim's stature, every killing has a consequence. Even as I bloodied my hands, I never realized this simple truth. There I was, the very definition of a fool.
And that really changes how I feel about the character. We're suspicious of him because of what that lady said, and the way that he's tried to remind us of who he is as if we forgot so quickly. But then he warns me he's made a mistake in his past. He's killed, and he didn't think of the consequences. No matter how irrelevant someone might seem, take everyone seriously and remember that there are consequences to every kill and every action. And he himself has made that mistake, and he himself is troubled by them. And he thinks upon the kills that he's made and seems to regret them. Would a Dark Wraith Lord say something like that? I would say no, but he could be trying to trick us. Interesting little thing we got going on here.
I don't mean to seem overbearing, but have you forgotten? In exchange for my sorceries, you are to bring me knowledge in the form of scrolls detailing the secrets of sorcery. I hope you're not one to break a promise.
Oh no.
I don't mean
Yeah, so that's everything he has to say.
Come again.
Simple man. I like Orbeck, he's interesting. This little like back and forth between this, what I think is a Dark Wraith woman, between him and her, is really interesting. Because we have to work out who's telling the truth, who isn't. I think I have the advantage because I know the lore of the world and of course Dark Souls 1 and what Dark Wraiths are, and I'm getting those vibes from that character. So maybe I've got an advantage based on that. Londor Braille Divine Tome, what we believe is New Londo, and basically the Dark Wraith Tome. And there are consequences to every action. But it is the action I made on that episode that we lost. And so we'll make that exact same action.
Oh, what's this? Champion of Ash, this divine tome is forbidden. These are dark tales of things that lurk deep within men. These stories would not please you. Of course, if you insist, I will read them for you. Only... oh, they frighten me so. The little creatures that nibble at me in the darkness.
God, I feel bad for Firekeepers, man. Like, the fact that they have to deal with all this fucking bullshit, man. This abyss sort of creeping into them. It's messed up. And it seems like the affliction that she has that's causing her to really struggle well, it's something to do with the Dark Wraiths and the Abyss. And I managed to save her from this thing that was creeping up on her when I first found her and brought her back here. And we started to help her. But now I've given her that tome. Maybe I've brought on that darkness again. Maybe that was a mistake. Anyway, now she has 3 amazing spells. First up, the Dark Blade, which is the miracle of the Sable Church of Londor, reinforces the right weapon with dark. The third daughter, Lulaine, one of the founders of the Sable Church, is said to recount tales that portray the suffering and conflicts of Hollows. And so, that is a weapon buff. You can buff your weapon with fire, lightning damage, poison, bleed, and now dark damage as well, which is essentially using the Abyss to increase the damage of your weapon. It's a risky thing to do, and it requires 25 faith to use. I considered using this on my main character because I could do like a dagger build where I attack really quickly, but I buff up the dagger first with the Dark Blade, and then increasing its damage to something relevant, swing really quick, dealing out high damage quickly while this buff is activated. It seems like a very powerful and fun thing to do, and I was considering the fact that we're suddenly going down this sort of Dark Wraith path, and I'm sort of a thief character. Maybe we should embrace it and become the Dark Wraith. I was thinking about it. Then we have Vow of Silence, which basically means to silence the area and no one can use spells in that area. I can't, enemies can't. Seems like a really good anti-mage, anti-faith sort of build. And I'm really excited by the potential of this, because if I find a caster out in the world and do PvP and stuff, I can stop it from using any of his spells. For example, Rage plays a Pyromancer, I could just mute his Pyro spells. That would fuck him. Really cool spell. Finally, we have Dead Again. Sacrilegious miracle of the Sable Church of Londor. Bless corpses, transforming them into traps. Londor, the Hollow Realm, is a society of undead comprised of the corpses and shades of those who led unsavory lives. Is such a blessing really something one must ponder? I don't know, man. But that's kind of creepy, that spell. You blow up corpses, essentially, just like in Dark Souls 2. It's a pretty fucked up magic, to say the least. And now finally we return to the High Wall of Lothric. This is the last thing we're going to do before we go down into the swamp and progress through it. Hopefully complete that area. I would like to give you a bird's eye view, once more, of the land in front of us. And I would like to reveal to you what I now know. And how fucking awesome this very spot in the world, in the game is, and how much I appreciate it. This is the broken bridge that would lead to the undead settlement. And it is broken right there by a dragon or drake that crashed into it. Right there is where we found tons of pygmies dead and Yor himself. Leading further on, we have the undead settlement and all of its shacked houses. Further on, we can actually see the tree right there and the crows circling the undead settlement. That is where this creepy church resides, and basically where we have the boss fight with the rotted greatwood. Amazing, we can see that from here. And then we have the cathedral building, which has the giant sniper on top of it, where we met Onion Bro. And it leads down and down and down. If you go down the elevator and through there, you fight the Outrider Burial Knight, straight into the road of sacrifices, leading further and further and further, all the way down into the FARRON area. We have where we fought the Black Knight, right there. We also have right here, the area where we fought the Crystal Sage, just in those ruins. This, I believe, must be the Cathedral of the Deep that we've heard so much about, where apparently one of the Lords of Cinder resides, so we'll have to go there soon. If we actually look further down, go back here, this is the entrance to the Farron Keep swamp that we were running around in last time. And you may notice these towers, these 3 towers right here with flames at the top. Those are the 3 flames you must extinguish. And because we have this bird's eye view, we can see the whole swamp area and the size of it. This is the half circle that I was talking about. This is how I navigate in my mind's eye. We've been to this one, which then led us to this one, which then led us to the bonfire, which is right here. It seems to be inside of this pillar. That's where the bonfire was. And that's where we stopped last episode. And we didn't know where this third flame was, did we? We didn't know where the last one was. Well, now we do. It's right there. So we've not explored, like, the outer walls and under these pillars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in between these gaps, right? In between those gaps there. And around there as well, that whole middle section. Because we haven't been there yet on this character. Obviously, I did it in episode 10, which is what my objective was. But, you know, we lost that episode, so we're re-recording it now. And so that's what we're going to do now. I also want to head to one of those pillars. Because I found something there. Oh, by the way, I believe that's FARRON Keep right there as well. I just really, really appreciate the fact that it lets us see so much. Right at the beginning of the game, we see so much of the game. All the areas we're going to be running around in. And it's so enjoyable to see and appreciate where you've been and where you've come from. I love it so much. In case you're wondering now that we're back here, the weapon I'm using is Vord's Great Hammer. I can't actually use it unless I'm two-handing it. It requires 30 strength to use, and I currently have 27 strength on this character. So we're very close, you know, 3 more levels and we're there. Alright, so 2 flames are extinguished from last time, and we have a bunch of items in this area, and the door is almost open. From the bird's eye view that we were getting, we know that back in this direction, and basically just over here, where I'm looking, is the third and final flame. And there's FARRON Keep behind that wall. So above us should be these giant pillars that lead up on the broken bridge. We're literally under the broken bridge right now. So this is sort of what we look like, apart from different weapon, obviously. This character's a female, by the way. She's called Frost, and I wanted to do like a, sort of like, how do I describe it? I guess the point of this build was, oh, hold on. Nice! That was really nice. They're actually quite weak. They have low health, but they do a lot of damage, as we've known when we face them. Basically, I wanted to do like a Boreal Knight, Frost, like Ice Knight build on my second character. So that's sort of what I'm working towards now. Alright, we got this crab. Ooh! There we go. Gotta be careful. Crabs are dangerous. These giant crabs, they really, well, give me a hard time. It'd be nice if you would stagger. That was the grab attack. There it is. Nice bit of clean kill there. We get the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring, which is a special ring given to those who are deemed fit to undertake the journey of discovery in Vinheim, home of sorcery. Extends the length of a spell effect. The apropos to the dragon school, the seal depicts an everlasting dragon. A lingering dragon symbolizes the true nature of the consummate sorcerer. So yeah, and it basically just means like, let's say I use a spell that, you know, buffs up my weapon like we were looking at earlier. It just makes that buff last a lot longer, for example. This part really interests me. We have one of those trees that we got a sapling from, and it's in a swamp that is obviously filled with poison. And why it's so interesting to me is the fact that all the trees that are here now are disgusting, mutated, fucked up, corrupt, poisoned. And then this tree, this sapling, this white birch sapling, is perfectly healthy and stands out against the crowd and against all the other trees, perfectly healthy in a poison-filled swamp. How is that possible? They reference Dusk. They reference Dusk with the other one. And then we find the crown of Dusk herself. Little Dusk's first sorcerer's staff eventually became a seedling, and then 3 white birch saplings. The young branch is said to still contain echoes of Little Dusk's capriciousness. 3 saplings. We found 2. This is the second. But don't forget, the feathered crown bestowed upon the Princess of Ulysal, land of ancient golden sorceries, the Crown of Dusk. Through the Guardian Elizabeth's blessing, this raises the power and effect of the wearer's magic, but damage suffered by magic attacks rises in tandem. Look at this thing. Bit broken now. Now it's all lopsided. So I don't really know why Dusk's referenced so much here in the game. Maybe we'll find out eventually why she's so referenced so often. But for now, we don't really know, do we? A little bit further on now, where the tree is right there, just through there, we have this little alcove. And there's obviously something going on here. For those of you who played Dark Souls 1, this is pretty fucking scary, don't you think? But I gotta deal with these bozos first. Oh god. Nice range with your dagger there. I'm salty. There we go. Facing these guys one by one is always the way to go, I believe. Yeah, there's dead mushroom people. They were in the forest in Dark Souls 1. Sage a scroll, awesome. The mage was just getting on our ass about bringing him scrolls and how we promised to bring him one. And good, we found one. Yeah, these mushroom people, they were in Ulysal. Elizabeth herself was a mushroom person, the Guardian of Dusk. Or at least someone pretending to be a mushroom using chameleon. And we found more mushroom people here. Even their babies, their little ones, are dead as well. These are the one-punch mushrooms from the forest. They were hanging around just in front of where Artorias' grave resides. And you know what? That's actually the same forest where Dusk was captured. This area we have, you know, come up with the theory is Lordran. So it's a time that's changed. It's a place that's changed multiple times. The name has changed, the area has changed, the people in it have changed, but the history of the area remains the same. I believe now, based on these little, like, indications that we've seen multiple times now, I believe this area we're in is the same area from Dark Souls 1, Lordran. I also believe this area is the same area from Dark Souls 2, Drang Lake. Whoa. I think Drang Lake may have been Lordran. Just changed a little bit in a different section of Lordran, one we'd not seen before. You know, obviously in Dark Souls 3, it's a lot more obvious this seems to be the same sort of, like, area. Whoa. Careful. If you haven't worked it out, I've come up with a strategy. Oh, God. I have to hit the enemy, you know. Hitting the enemy is a good strategy, I think. Oh! Never seen that attack before. Jesus Christ. It's use the trees to... Whoa. Okay, they went through the tree. You got to use the trees as like a wall to deal with the skulls, is what I'm doing anyway. There we go. And you want to fight them one by one. There it is. Farros's motherfucking hat. Farros was a great archer. At a time long past. Even before the events of Dark Souls 1. And you could get his bow. And it was a long black bow. With a really unique thing about it. Because the way that you would fire it was like a weird stance. It was a very unique bow. I was really hyped about that in the original episode. Oh, that's the explosion. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. It's not my fault, alright? Gotta be careful here. There's a lot of skulls coming out of that thing. There we go. Use the tree to my advantage. Now! Oh! Don't do it. There we go. And there it is. The black bow of Farros. Hella hyped, man. Hella hyped. A black longbow named after a hero of old known for the unusual stance from which it was fired. Has a longer range than standard bows, but successful usage requires a trained dexterous hand. And it has the skill, the Farros triple shot, shooting 3 arrows from one attempt right there. Oh, so good. Close range, gonna do some nice damage as that. And it really reminded me, you know, this whole like dark wraith thing that's going on. And this weird thing that's happening with my character and the lore. Do I become a dark wraith? Should I go down that dark path? I have a black bow. I've got this big fuck off dagger, the Corvian great knife, right? I'm tempted to do like a dark wraith thing and use the dark weapon to buff up my knife. I don't know. I'm not saying I've decided. Okay. Roll! Whoa! Ugh! Jesus Christ, these enemies! Fuck off! Oh my god! That was actually really dangerous. Jesus Christ. Okay, I gotta be careful here. I don't have any heals left of any kind. Yeah, I was thinking about this dark wraith thing, you know. I've got like this dark character. He's got this big fuck off knife. I could buff it with a dark weapon buff. Maybe, maybe not. What do you guys think? But I'm feeling it a little bit. The dark thief, you know, the dark archer, using Faris's black bow, using the dark buff. I don't know, I really like the vibe of it all of a sudden. Anyway, I found this tower and I was heading over to it. We've got an item there. But I could hear this bit of breathing, don't you hear it? All this talk of dark wraiths. I know, man. What the fuck? There's an actual dark wraith from Dark Souls 1 that was sealed away in New Londo right there. All of this dark wraith talk from the NPC and from everything that's happened so far, they're obviously involved in this world still because they weren't in Dark Souls 2. I just find it so interesting that they showed up. Look at him. I bet you can get that armor in this game. It looks even better than in Dark Souls 1. It's creepy as fuck. So skeletal, made from bones, right? Wearing that skull. I could do like that. I could look like that with my gross, massive dagger using dark damage. I like the idea. Anyway, get fucked, mate. They're actually really deadly in this game now. Oh, shit. Damn it, dude. We got the Dark Gauntlets. I didn't get those when I killed it the first time. Gauntlets of the Dark Wraiths, relics of a small country that fell to the dark long ago. New Londo. Look as if they may crumble to dust at any moment. The Dark Wraiths were the oldest of the Red Eye invaders and rumoured to have served a primordial serpent. I was just talking about him. Karth, man. Oh, damn, son. We got some nice gloves. Haha. Yeah, I'm thinking about farming that set. Okay, so we have the Sage's Call here, and of course we have that other scroll we didn't read. Call used for weapon infusion. The white magic flame produced by this call was given to the Undead Legion long ago by one of the Crystal Sage twins, the one that we fought, I assume. Give to the blacksmith in the shrine to allow the use of gems for crystal, blessed, and dark infusion. Dude, I swear to God, this whole area is like, be a dark wraith. Come on. This episode is just, be a dark wraith, come on. Sage's Scroll, that's the one we found earlier. Scroll containing sorceries of the Crystal Sages. Give to a sorcerer to learn sorceries of the Sages. As any sorcerer knows, sorcery is a talent, and those sorceries will refine to nurture a very special talent. So he's very excited. We've got a scroll to give him now. So hopefully he'll stop badgering on at us about how we promised to give him scrolls, because we'll actually give him one this time. Some rotten pine resin here. It's fucking basilisks. That's right. Basilisks. They send fucking basilisks at you. So fucked. It's so fucking cruel. If you don't know, basilisks curse you with their poison breath. Ugh! Jesus, I heard him coming. It's like a cursing breath. And if it fills, it will curse you fully. And it'll turn you to stone and insta-kill you. And then you'll come back and be like, oh, well, that fucking sucked. Don't want that to happen again. And you'll still be cursed. the curse will still be there, and your health will be lowered. Like, your maximum health will be lowered. It's pretty bullshit. So I ain't about that life. Let me just get rid of this poison. And we're coming up here to the third and final flame. This is actually where it is. The northeast sort of section of the swamp. There it is. There we go. Hell yeah. Looks so creepy, dude. The like pathway of candles. Very excited about seeing them though. The Undead Legion are fucking cool. They're like Artorias's. They're the Abyss Watchers. They are the people who follow in the footsteps of Artorias. And he's one of my favorite characters. He's one of the favorite characters of everyone. He's so fucking cool. So this is the area on my right where we were just fighting basilisks. You see them walking around. Oh hey, Yellowfinger Hazel. He invades you in the upper section of the swamp. And he has invaded me again down here. I don't appreciate this. Not interested. Fucking basilisks on top of an invasion. What's next? A real fucking player comes in? There we go, we got one of them. We'll just dodge that. Don't know where the second one is. Fighting him out of the... Oh, there's the second one. Fighting him out of the water is a better idea. I would say for obvious reasons. And he might get me here. Oh. Good lord, he didn't get me, thank god. Ah, you are such a troll, Hessel. There we go. Yep. Nice stagger there. Don't heal. You son of a bitch. Don't fucking heal. Don't fucking heal. There we go. Oh my god. Ha ha ha. 7k souls is worth quite a lot. Jesus Christ. You can actually get his pick, and he also drops his helmet. Crown supposedly made in imitation of divine creatures of Ulissul, land of the ancient golden sorceries. Xanoth clothing is the mark of a researcher of lost sorceries, and the oversized crown is emblematic of their work. Such a curious pursuit is surely nothing to be ashamed of. Awesome, get the double. Double kill, please. Oh, thank God. Killing them efficiently like that is fucking useful, to say the least. It makes it bearable versus hell. I'd rather have bearable than hell. Then we have a cave hidden away around here. And a certain dead person that drops a golden scroll, which will make our sorcerer very happy because it contains sorceries from Ulissul and the Xanthias scholars. We just fought a Xanthias scholar. Could this be the body of Helsil? Despite him still being here like a ghost and invading us. Perhaps that's why he's still here. We can give that to learn the arts of Ulissul. In the lost land of Ulissul, the sorceries orchestrated light and were said to shine in golden hues. Our sorcerer's going to be very happy. We got 2 scrolls for him in 1 episode. Very happy. And there's an antiquated skirt. It reminds me of Dusk's outfit. I believe it is Dusk's outfit. So why is it here in this cave? That's the question, I suppose. But Dusk and this area, they're very obviously linked. So we're coming up to this weird-ass building right here. And you may recognize this spot, because that is the entrance to FARRON Keep, and we have done a full circle here. Meaning the bonfire should just be up there. It is. And we also have this disgusting stuff. Did you notice it? The leech on the wall. I didn't the first time. So gross. Speaking of gross, fucking more in there, mate. Burn them alive. That's my advice. Fucking burn them alive. Pyromancy did the job in here, let me tell you. It did the job. But having like nice strong AoE swings also is very good. And very much does the job as well. Undead Bone Shard. That's going to increase the power of our flasks. It's the second one we found. Awesome. So up the top of this ladder, I was actually told by getting the jet on Twitter that if I see a giant ladder, right, that leads quite high up, immediately, don't forget, do it, climb the ladder. Wolfblood Swordgrass. Do it, climb the ladder, is what I was told. So, well, I guess we'll do exactly that. It's not quite taking us to the top, but it gives us a nice view here of the area we were just playing in. Gets us above that noxious fume of the trees. And we can see clearly again. So there's the pillar, the bridge is right above us. Over there, there's the entrance, Cathedral of the Deep. Up here we have Lothric Castle and its walls. Which I have a really big theory about that area, man, and I kind of talked about it. And based on me thinking this is like a similar area to... Shall I say it? I don't know. I don't know when I worked it out in the episode. I'd say by now. Go on then. I reckon this area is actually the exact same area of Artorias and his grave, where you fight Sith. I reckon this area is the area where the forest invaders would defend the forest. We've seen that similar faction, but they're now blue and they're called the wolf dogs or something like that. The dogs of FARRON. And they prevent you from crossing through their swamp and their forest. We've seen Dusk in the exact same forest in Dark Souls 1, and, well, she's apparently here as well. There's obviously indications of her. There's something going on in this section, in this area. And it's to do with the same area. I think this is the Deep Root Forest. Obviously changed. There's an illusionary wall here, you can see by this archway. Found it by doing that. And we get the Dream Chaser's ashes, and there's a certain grave and bonfire right here. Holy shit. If that didn't fucking reinforce my theory, I don't know what does, but fucking hell, it's a giant wolf. Artorias was the wolf knight, and Sif was a giant wolf. This is obviously a lot smaller than Sif, but this is the old wolf of FARRON. Legion etiquette, new emote. And this is the FARRON faction. I did join it. The Watchdogs of FARRON. Really reminds me of Artorias' grave. This whole area really reminds me of the Deep Root Forest. I believe it is that same forest, changed over the years. Based on the land structure, is that high wall of Lothric not the exact same high wall of Anor Londo? Is Lothric Castle Anor Londo? That's the big question. I think it might be. The Wolfblood Swordgrass, a leaf signifying a duty fulfilled by the Watchdogs of FARRON, who stand beside the old wolf to ensure the serenity of those at rest, depicts a swordgrass leaf stained with dried blood. It is quite literally a faction devoted to defending the grave of Artorias, just like in Dark Souls 1, preventing those from getting to a certain grave. Long ago, the Swordgrass Leaf quietly identified members of the Undead Legion. In the rotted forest rest the spirits of warriors past. Their acceptance and gratitude towards their guardian is expressed eloquently by the humble leaf. I really think this is the same forest, and I genuinely believe that is what Anor Londo is now, the high walls of Lothric. Anyway, we do have this giant elevator right here, so we might as well go up. By giant, I really do mean massive. This thing moves fast, and it goes for a while. It takes us up out of that muck of the forest, and all the way up here, giving us a beautiful view of the area we were just playing in, where the 3 pillars are that we just put out. There's one. There's another. There's the entrance. There's the Road of Sacrifices. We get a great view of this right here, which is, I think, an area we've not been to. Or it could be the area where we met the Gimp and that night. In fact, no, yeah, I know it is. Look, that's the Road of Sacrifices. We came through there. It's not a cave. I know it looks like one, but it's just that archway we walked under. There's a bunch of Corvians there on a bridge. And you come down here and you meet the Gimp and the Knight. And that's like the main swamp area where the crabs are. And over there we have the boss fight with the Sage, Crystal Sage, and Cathedral of the Deep. I also did notice this. Looks like a bit of parkour. Pretty cool. But mainly, this fucking blew me away. Look at that shit! Does that remind you of anyone? Or of a certain enemy? The first enemy you encounter in Dark Souls 1? It should. Alright, let's go do this shortcut first. I say shortcut, the secret thing here. The broken wall, where you can drop down here. There was a lot of this in Bloodborne, which gave me a nice little bit of awareness for things like this. There was just a lot of this going on in Bloodborne, generally, like the ledge drops. So I appreciate them and I notice them. And that right there is indeed the crashed drake on the bridge, broken bridge. And on the other side, all those stone pygmies, where we first met Yorel. Or Yor, I can't remember his name, sorry. And that's where the bats landed us, right there. Directly there. And the undead settlement is over there. Just going to go ahead and get these crystal lizards. I don't know why there's so many in this area, but I'm grateful for it. Don't you fucking run. There we go. Dragon Crest Shield. Yeah, this guy's a bit creepy, isn't he? Lightning Spear, damn right. A drake crashed into the bridge and it's still dead, thank God. It scared the shit out of me. I was so slow about picking up these items, let me tell you. Lightning Spear, a miracle allegedly used by the warriors of sunlight, which will hurl a lightning spear. The spear inflicts lightning damage, providing an effective counter to magic or fire, especially powerful against metal armor, and of course, dragons, which is why it was conceived. Seif the Scaleless betrayed his dragon brethren and gave Gwyn and his knights the ability to find their weakness, which was lightning, and use it against them. And the Dragon Crest Shield, a knight's shield engraved with a crest depicting a dragon, one of the enchanted blue shields. The Dragon Crest Shield greatly reduces fire damage. We have a warrior that died here fighting a dragon with weapons and armor designed to fight dragons with. Very neat. If you don't recognize these guys, they're on the High Wall of Lothric. They are the guardians of the Wall of Lothric, the soldiers that remained and did in fact hollow, as you can see. Went completely insane. I just find it interesting that they're here on this like broken bridge. It must suck for them because whenever this happened, someone was fighting that drake or dragon, lost, right? Killed the dragon but died himself. Bridge got broken and this is sealed. There's no way to open it. This poor pygmy was also just trying to get to the goddamn Lothric wall. Just trying to do his duty. But yeah, it's sealed off. You can't open it. So he can't get through there. And all of these knights and soldiers, they got stuck here. Trapped here. And eventually hollowed here and went insane. And I'd say that sucks for them and I feel bad for them. But remember, all of the people who didn't get stuck here and are still up there on the high wall also did hollow. So it's not like they would have prevented that fate if they weren't trapped here. They just must get bored, you know, hanging out in the same area all the time. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's no way to open this as far as I can see. Now then. This certain Abyssal Demon. Pretty fucking cool guy. I can't believe he's here. Still guarding a certain area. Let's fight. Now he's all like stone. Oh, still does that butt smash move. Isn't that cool? When you hit him, ow. when you hit him, like, a bit of flame leaks out. Whoa! Fucking hell, he shoots rocks out of his goddamn mouth, man. That's new. Come here. Fire comes out. You see that? There it is. Stray demon. So despite him being made out of rock, or so it would seem, he actually does spew out a bit of fiery stuff when you hit him, because they were once made from fire. They are demons. They come from the fire. So why was he so stone-like? You know, the demons shouldn't be stone-like. The stray demon, now lacking even a trace of flame, was once the gatekeeper of Lothric. Amazing. They actually used a demon as their guard dog, their watcher on the wall, their fucking... the thing that prevents all of the people from Undead Settlement to just walk up to the high wall. They enforced a demon as their guard. Seems a bit excessive to me. What happens when people who are meant to be visiting, who are meant to get to the castle, show up? That demon's not going to just let them pass. It's going to kill anything that comes nearby. How did they even get it to work for them? And there we have it. This is exactly where I left off in the last episode. This is where I got to. Ended my recording, checked the footage, and found there was no footage. Thanks, Shadowplay. Hopefully this time you recorded the game. God, I pray that's... Oh, God, I shouldn't have said that, man. Hopefully, if you're seeing this, that means it was recorded, guys. I don't need to make a third character. Guys, really appreciate all this support on the series so far. Thank you so much. All the advice, lore, discussions, ideas. I really appreciate it. It's been a great experience so far. Thank you for watching 10 episodes. Here's to the next 10. And I will see you next time, on which I'll be on the main character again, the original character. Goodbye for now, guys. Frost will make her return eventually.